Okay, they have different experiments. Total there are 10 experiment and two open ended experiments are there. Means you are open to do the two open ended practicals. Before going to the course content, have you know the what is the course objective and course outcomes? Hello, can anyone just give what is course objective and course outcomes? Hello, course objective and course outcome. Okay, I will give what is course outcome. First, course objective. Okay, the objective of a course is that you are going to study the content which is present in the course, which shows that these are the objective of your course. Okay, after studying the objectives, the student will get means student will able to understand the those concept, those are called as the outcomes. Okay, there might be for example, to conduct a brainstorming section to generate an idea and a, a refining of ideas. Okay, means you have to conduct a brainstorming section to a student to generate the ideas as well as the refining of those ideas. Those are to be very important. Okay, these are the course objectives. Next, course outcomes of your course. After successful completion of the course, the student will able to identify the problems. Okay, problem which is there already, we have to identify the problem and we have to solve that problem. Okay, first the first intention is to identify the problem and solve the problem. Okay, second, analyze and gather the information and identify the potential of the ideas. Okay, analyze the information which is available in the problem and analyze that one, and you have to potentially identify the ideas with the solution which you use. Okay, the third outcomes is design a suitable prototype. If first step is to identify the problem, second is to gather some information about the problem, then next get the solution for the problem. Before after soluting, we are going to uh, design a prototype. Okay, if once you design the prototype, then you have to analyze that prototype. Okay, wait, I will share a ppt. First, what you know from this image or a figure? What do you think of this one?
सर दोनों बैच का पीआईडीटी है क्या?
हाँ, दोनों बैच का है.
ओके ठीक है सर.
PIDD stands for the problem identification and design thinking. Okay, I am allowing you, all of you, don't leave the classroom. Once you leave the classroom, you are not able to enter in the classroom.
हम्म.
What do you think of this image? Can anyone just give your few words?
भेज दो कहीं.
Hello. बताओ इस इमेज के बारे में आपको क्या, व्हाट यू आर थिंकिंग ऑफ दिस इमेज?
जिगी जिगी जिगी।
ओके, और
How to run a successful remote design thinking workshop?
ओके, डिजाइन थिंकिंग। नेक्स्ट, okay. This will about your course content. These are the list of experiment which is to be uh, performed or which is to be conducted. We are going to perform those experiment. First, identify the problem definition and define it. Identify the stakeholders. Enlist the constraint associated with the problem definition and formulation of the problems. Okay. First step is to analyze a problem. Okay. For defining any problem, we have to gather the information around the problem. Okay, what are the information which is available nearer to the problem? You have to gather the informations. Once you gathering the informations, analyze those information. The information you are collected is a maybe a correct or wrong. Okay, it may be you are going to gather information from a primary data or a secondary data. Okay, these can be analyzed. First primary data and secondary data is there. Okay, those primary. Hello. Who is speaking? Okay, these are the basic steps in a design thinking. Empathize, define, ideate, and prototype and test. Okay, these are a basic steps in your design thinking. Okay, what we will do in this session,
सर डिस्कनेक्ट हो गए कर रहे हैं?
हाँ दिख नहीं रहे।
component or a prototype of applications. Okay. Next test. Once the prototype is ready, we have to test that one. Okay. If the prototype you have designed is met, that is defined parameters are not, we have to verify and we have to test all those things. Once you have tested that one, it is satisfied with all the quality parameters, we are going to design that applications. Okay. After that, for design thinking process, we are going to three steps. First one is understand, create, and deliver. Okay, understanding of a customer or audience is important. Okay, the empathize and the define, these two comes under understanding. Okay, the that is ideate. Okay, that is the idea is there, it is comes under a create. Some part of a define and some part of a prototype is collaborating in between the create, means these are the some collaboration is happening between a, that is a defining the parameters or defining some ideas which is there for according to the audience or according to the customer, we are going to define. Okay, these steps to be followed in the process. Okay, these are the same tests, that is emphasize, define, ideate, prototype, test, and after testing we have the last step is to have to be implement that prototype. Okay, if the prototype is satisfied and passes through the all the quality processes, then you have to give a, you have to implement that prototype in a real world. Okay, next the next topic, the next word is what is stakeholders. Here, the word the stakeholders stand for the project management term is anyone who affected or who can affect in one and another way. Those are called as the stakeholders. Okay. Here, stakeholder analysis definitional tool text. These are the some terms which are going to be analyzed. Okay. What is stakeholders analysis? Is that the stakeholder analysis is an extremely useful technique for identifying, understanding, and prioritize all the stakeholders who may widely influence and power up the business of the project. Okay, here first you are going to, it is a technique used to identify, understand, and prioritize. And first you have to identify what are the who is the stakeholder, who is the customer, who is the audience. Okay, all these things used to be identified. Understand their needs. Okay, understand their needs and their after that understanding you are list out those needs of a audience, customer. Okay, those identifying, first is the identifying, second you have to be note on those requirement of the customer. Next, after that we are going to give a priority based upon the some priority may be given based upon the customer satisfaction. There may be some enthusiasm parameters, those to be considered to give the priorities. Okay, among the other things to analyze the stakeholders, who they are. First you have to identify who they are, what their needs, what are their expectations, what issues matters them. If you are not going to meet the some expectation of a customer, we cannot met expectation, all the expectation of a customer, because some time matters, cost is also matters to satisfy those expectation of a customers. Okay, those to be considered in stakeholder analysis. Next, through the analysis to ensure that all the affected parties are duly considered. Having access to the this knowledge can greatly improve the outcome of a conflict resolution. It can also make your day-to-day stakeholders engagement effort maybe much targeted. Okay, here to assess a knowledge of stakeholders greatly improves the outcome which will be coming from a resolution or a stakeholder analysis can be analyzed and engaged to get a effort which is to be achieved. Okay, 1 minute. Next, why the analysis of a stakeholder is very important. Okay, this will stay 1 minute. Wait. Okay, not all the stakeholders deserve the same amount of attentions. Okay, means all the customer or the that is audience will not deserve the same amount of attentions. We have to give the priority based upon the customer. Okay, this is why the conduct a stakeholder analysis is a very beneficial here. We have to conduct a survey of audience or a survey of a customer so that we can give a priorities based upon the customer satisfaction. Next, to allow to proper identify the all the stakeholder and categorize. You have to categorize this maybe a medium, a small, medium, and high priority based. That is a high priority customers are stakeholders. Okay. Here another important parameter you have to effort to secure a social acceptance and ensure the successful project delivery. Okay, you have to give uh, uh, a certain effort is to be taken for securing the social acceptance and ensure the successful project delivery. Okay, more especially in analyzing any a stakeholder, you have to gather a very large amount of data. Okay, those data can be analyzed and those can be distributed based upon the priorities. Okay, once the priority is fixed, we are going to define a small, medium, and high priority based stakeholders. Okay, in other one, it is tell you that these different group interaction, how this interaction may be serving, or your interest is to be defined. During your stakeholder analysis, you will also uncover any potential risk, issue, or misunderstanding that could be interrupt the project. If the stakeholder is not satisfied with your the services or any design thinking or the problem identifications, some of them may be not satisfied with your services, but it is not important to give all the stakeholder with the same attentions or same problems. We have to categorize them into a small, medium, and high type of high priority stakeholders. Okay. Next, how to identify the stakeholders. Okay, the stakeholders are identified by team brainstorming sections. Art may be a team member's experience, some historical data is there, or some a comparable based upon the comparable you are going to identify. Okay, these are the some parameters to be considered how to identify the stakeholder. For example, first one is the brainstorming section is there. Okay, here the brainstorming section idea which here come with a very longest possible list of potential. Not all the suggestion will be retained, but deserve the judgment for the end. It's better to weed out than to overlook. Okay, what is there in the brainstorming sections? We are going to have a very big, longest possible data is there. Those data can be analyzed and taken into the suggestion that okay, and some data may be retained, some brainstorming section to be conducted based upon the that is judgmental for end. It's better to weed out that the it have to give us some overlook. Okay, then team member expense. Here, based upon the brainstorming section who is conducting, based upon this, we are going to identify how many years or how the team member is experienced in handling the problem or identifying the problem. You have to analyze. Next, historical data. The history of a stakeholder is very important. The stakeholder is a customer for a very long duration or a short duration. Okay, that we have to be identify. Another one is a comparable. Sometimes we'll have to be operating in the new locations or on a different type of product project. When possibly look for a similar project and identify the stakeholders who have played a same role. Okay, for example, if one project is going, the same kind of project which we are going to implement on the other site. Okay, if you consider there are two projects are going, someone is working in the project number A from a very long durations. Okay, he have some very good knowledge about that project. Okay, next we want to implement a same project at some other place. You have to identify that type of a person, experienced person, and you have to take that person and you have to transfer or you have to give that person to another project so that he can implement the that project be with a more efficient than the project A, because he have a experience of handling a project A. You can handle very well project number B. Like that, you are going to identify the stakeholders. Next, how and when to analyze. This is a very important when and how to analyze the stakeholders. You are identified the problem. Okay, when you identify the problem means we have to analyze that one. Okay, knowing who your stakeholder are is vital to understand their motivations. A concern is equally so. This is where the stakeholder analysis comes in. Okay, some expense person is there. Okay, who is a very high vital role in your project. To understand their motivations, their skills, their experience. Based upon that, we have to be analyzed and placed those stakeholder in a different projects. Okay, it's important to analyze the stakeholder in earlier stage of the project. Okay, it's a very important to analyze the stakeholder at early stages of the project. This allow you to protectively to develop a stakeholder engagement in the strategies, which generally produces a better outcomes. Okay, means when starting any project, you have to identify the what are the requirement of a project, what are the who is going to be handle this project, means here who is going to be a stakeholder in the project. Those can be identified before the starting of the project, so that we can implement uh, that project in a very well manner. We are going to develop a strategies between the a stakeholder and a project. It generally produces a better outcomes in the project. Okay, when there is a number of models that can be used to analyze the stakeholders. Okay, there is a very high amount of parameters are there to identify or to analyze a stakeholders. Each one may give has some their own strengths and weakness. Okay, the every person don't have a same that is strength and weaknesses. They have their own strength parameters and strength, that is weakness parameters. Every human being don't have their own same strength and weaknesses. Okay, that's the different parameters are considered to be to identify what are the strengths and what are the weaknesses of stakeholders. Okay, it is a very important that is the most appropriate model will be probably depends upon the nature of your project, available resources. Okay, here the stakeholder management team, you are going to call next the stakeholders management team. Okay, who is manage the stakeholders team, those are called as the stakeholders management team, may consider using a combination of model to gain a more through understanding of their key stakeholder groups, their potential impact of the project. Okay, what is the problem which going to face us? That is, stakeholders are resistance to change. They don't want to change their job profile or a job because of the some change in the fear. Okay, change in the fear, they are not able to change their job. Okay, okay, to formulate the objectives of a stakeholder, there are some opportunities should be given. They have to be given some equal opportunity to each stakeholder. Okay, the community involvement is to be should be there. You have to give us some health and safety. You have to consider the health and safety of stakeholders. The relationship with the customer and supplier is a very important. That is a relationship between in any project to get a successful. There is some relationship between a higher worker and a lower worker. That is means higher authority and lower authority of a stakeholder should be very important to get any project. Supply chain management. Okay, the quality of working condition and the should be very environment, it is a friendly environment should be there. Okay, and that is some training and development should be provided for all the stakeholders who is working in the project. If they have trained, they can get a better, we can expect a better result from the stakeholders. This is about your experiment number one, identify the problems. 1 minute, another ppt is there. Okay, this is the first, that is identifying the problem and the definition to identify the stakeholder and to enlist the constraint associated with the problem, definition and formulation of the object. Okay. You have any book related to this one? Hello. There are. हेलो.
Yes, sir.
बुक है क्या इसके डाउनलोड किया ना आपने?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No. No.
नो सर, नो सर,
ओके
हमको
वन
कुछ
मिनट.
बताया नहीं अभी तक।
ओके 1 मिनट 1 मिनट. वेट फॉर अ मिनट. और C1 बैच का रोल नंबर बता सकते हैं क्या? रोल नंबर 1 2.
30
62.
नहीं 1 to 62 तो है, लेकिन C1 बैच और C2 दो बैच है
1
ना.
to 30
1 to
C1.
30 and 31 to 62.
Yeah, yes, sir.
ओके 1 मिनट वेट. I have two books related to this course. Okay, I will uploading this one. 1 minute. Rule number 1 to 30. Join the Google Classroom using this link. One to 30.
ज्वाइन नहीं हो रहा।
ओके, पर्सनल मेल आईडी है क्या?
हाँ सर, कॉलेज का मिला नहीं सर अभी
तक नहीं मिला. वेट आई विल. ओके, मैं पर्सनल आपको पर्सनल मेल आईडी से बना के सेंड करता हूँ ग्रुप में बाद में.
ओके
ओके. Once I have generated, okay, this already I have generated. I will keep this as it is. Once you get this Raisoni email ID, you can join. Okay. मैंने दोनों बना के रखा है, C1 and C2 batch. Once your email ID is get ready, inform me so that I can recirculate these codes. Okay. Okay. Rule number 1 is present. 1. Rule number 1.
Present, sir. Present.
Okay. 2.
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
3.
Present, sir.
4. 5. 6.
Present, sir.
5
7.
present, sir.
5, 6, both are present. 7,
Present.
8, 9,
Present, sir.
10, 11,
Present, sir.
12,
Present, sir.
13.
Present, sir.
Okay, wait. 14. 14 is there. 15. 16.
Present, sir.
17.
Present, sir.
18.
Present, sir.
19.
Present, sir.
19 Rajput. Is right.
Present, sir.
Okay, next 20. 21. 22.
Present, sir.
23.
Present, sir.
24.
Present.
25. 26.
Present, sir.
27.
Present, sir.
27.
Yes, sir. 27 present.
Your name?
Krishna Sarda.
Okay. 28.
Present, sir.
29.
Present, sir.
30.
Present, sir.
31.
Present, sir.
32.
Present.
33. Shukla Vedant. 34.
Present, sir.
35.
Present, sir.
36.
Present, sir.
37. 38.
Present, sir.
39.
Present, sir.
40.
Present, sir.
41.
Present, sir.
42. Tiwari Aryan. 43. 44. 45.
Present, sir.
46.
Sir, 44 present.
Yes, present. 46.
Sir, 43 present.
43. Priyanshu. 43 present. 46 is there. Animesh. 46. 7.
47 present, sir.
48.
Present, sir.
49.
Present, sir.
50.
Present, sir.
51.
Present, sir.
52.
Present, sir.
53. 54. 55.
Present, sir.
56.
Present, sir.
57. Pankaj.
Present, sir.
58. Roshan. 58 is present. Okay. 59 Shivam.
Present, sir.
60.
Present, sir.
61.
Present, sir.
Yogesh.
Present, sir.
62.
Present, sir.
Anyone is left to give the attendance?
Sir, C14 is present.
14.
Yes, sir.
Your name?
No, sir. Her mic is not working. He's saying he's present in chat box.
Your name?
My name. My name is Sir Mandar.
Mandar. 14 na?
No, sir. 14 is a Mansi. Her mic is not working. He's saying he's present in chat box.
Okay. Our mic is not working.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay. Mansi Patil. 14 mic is not working. What about a 16? Okay, his mic problem. Rule number 38 is present.
Present, sir. 16 present.
16. Next. Prem Sawant is raised hand. What is problem? Prem. Any issue?
हाँ सर, वो गलती से हो गया.
Okay. And this is a combined class. That's why the strength is very high. Okay. From next class onwards, we'll conduct a 30 student batch. Okay. This problem identification and design thinking course you may not understand it starting. Okay. Starting में आपको कुछ दिक्कत आ सकती है इस पे. Once you started to study this course, it is a very interesting topic when you completed 2-3 practicals. We'll conduct a practical, that is real world problems. We'll take some real world problem and we'll identify what is the problems which is actually present. You maybe come with your some type of that is a problem, okay, which is of thinking. You have to identify the problem. You have to gather the information around the problem. Okay, you have to gather what are the informations. You have to be collect what are the primary information, what are the secondary information, how to collect the primary information data, secondary information data. Okay, after collecting all the information, how you are going to analyze that problem. Okay, that's a very important. After analyzing the problem, you have to create a prototype. Once the prototype is ready, then you have to implement that one. Okay, the prototype you are created, it is a correct or right, correct or wrong. How to identify that one? To identify that one, you have to implement that one. If you are implemented properly, if the output is right, then it's okay. There is no issue. Okay, with your analysis. If it is not okay with the outcomes, then you have to be come for again to a collecting a data or maybe some analysis method to be changed. There are different methods to analyze the problems. Those method can be changed from moving from first method to second method. We can get a problem. We are getting this problem for a particular solution or not. We have to identify. Okay. There are totally some. This is your third week of your semester, and we are conducted a first practical. We'll complete this one, and this course have a 25 marks of internal marks and carries a 1 credit. Okay, no exam, but there is some internal assessment is there. On based upon the internal assessment, you will be get a credit. Okay, some Pooja asked, sir, class rule number 31 to 62. Okay, I will pass on the 1 to 30 rule number 2. That is a respective sir. Okay, today's session is Subhas Kumar sir. Na? I will pass on 1 to 30 rule number 2, sir. and I will take 31 to 62 rule number. Okay, attend regularly. There is a internal marks for this course. If you are not attending, if your internal, that is attendance is 0 or less than 75%, you will be detained. Okay, once you will get your Google Classroom, 1 minute.